Is INFP really bad at logic? From my experience with INFPs, not all, but many of them do seem to talk less about logic compared to T-types. However, their logic can still be better than that of many others. Regarding FI overuser, I've thought carefully about this and find out that they overly emphasize the value of emotions, completely ignoring the basic logic of controlling the emotion and using logic to think objectively, to making correct decisions based on logic, to receiving positive emotional feedback due to correct actions. Consequently, they often fail to consider the future development of events because they focus too much on current emotions. Also, INFPs typically state conclusions without explaining their reasoning. Since their dominant function is FI and their inferior function is TE, the weakness of TE makes them more concerned with results at a subconscious level. This manifests in their communication as a tendency to give their views or conclusions about something without providing the reasons behind them. FI, being an emotional function, cares more about personal resonance than underlying logic, and this resonance is harder to articulate verbally compared to logical reasoning. Therefore, INFPs often don't share their in-depth thoughts on certain matters with unfamiliar people like INTPs might. Instead, they directly state what they resonate with rather than giving a comprehensive view of the matter. Given their clear stances, it is not easy for them to get others to agree with their views. Many INFPs, having faced challenges in communication, exhibit this tendency of providing conclusions that are usually verifiable in reality but often lack clear justifications or accessibility. Some people argue that INFPs are not bad at logic, they simply don't use it or consider it. When logical reasoning is necessary, INFPs can handle it with TI coming into play, though it feels uncomfortable for them. TI and FI cannot be fully engaged simultaneously, so a balance must be struck. They understand what logic is and how it develops, but find it personally frustrating, avoiding it when possible, although they often need to use it. Some INFPs are almost indistinguishable from INTPs, exhibiting very strong logical abilities. Logic is closely related to order, forming a pathway from point to point. However, when INFPs think, they often see a complete picture or multiple points appearing simultaneously in their minds, rather than deriving them through logical steps. They then have to string these points together logically, which can be exhausting. If your cognition like NI is accurate and profound enough, you can achieve the same results with brief and concise TI reasoning as an INTP does with extensive logical deduction. It's similar to the relationship between algorithms and runtime. Even though TI is in the 8th position for INFPs, it does not mean they lack it.